Well, it's project day again, and we have a few things going on. I'll take you outside in a moment to show you what we're doing for how we're using egg crates to start our seeds for the summer. But the indoor project included opening up these seed packs, which have a tendency to tear open and then ruin. So I opened them with the scissors. Reminded me of my grandfather seeing all these seed packs around. So we have eggplant, we have 3 kinds of tomatoes, we have cucumber, and green beans for the dogs. I have some roses, some beach roses I pulled up from the beach in Maine last September, some watermelons from our snacking this summer, and a flower I can't remember. I call it golden flower because, well, it's golden. And then James helped me make these little flags, which are hard to take apart, so I can stick it inside and remember which plant is which. We're trying to learn every year how to be a little more organized and actually know what we're growing. So I have every single thing that's going to go into the egg crate seedlings with the flag. So now I'm going to head outdoors and work on it. Okay, so now we're outdoors. I've done some of the work in advance. I showed you the indoor work with the flags and opening the seed bags. So I took several egg crates, some plastic ones and some cardboard ones, and I prepared them by putting in some simple potting mix we had, nothing special. And I filled each. Well, first I took the plastic ones and I put a tiny pinprick in each one, because these make fantastic little greenhouses. Eventually we'll put them like this and they'll sit in the sun and they will sprout quickly and beautifully is the plan. So I'm going to start by taking all the plastic egg crates that I broke up and placing them in a little holder. Till we eat a lot of eggs. I do. And okay, so now they're ready to be filled with seeds. This one I don't have a bottom for. So the reason it needs a bottom is because they have pinpricks on all of these, so water can drain out. So I have to put some kind of a tray under this or something. The other ones already have a built-in tray. Okay, hope that makes sense. I also have 3 cardboard ones, and we've never done cardboard before, but and they're obviously not going to get a pinprick because they're not going to have that greenhouse effect. They're going to just sit in here and be in the sun. So it'll be interesting to watch how the seeds I put in here and don't get covered with a dome will do in relation to the ones in plastic that have a dome. So that'll be fun. I think I'm going to mix things up a little bit. So I guess I'll start with this super sweet tomato, mini tomatoes. And these seeds are so small, it's like insane. There's one, I think. So I'm just going to place it in, and I'm going to cover it with a little bit of dirt. And I'll go and do all of these. Okay, so I put 1 or 2 seeds in each one of these little pods, and then I gave it a sprinkle, but you can see I over sprinkled it a little, but I think it'll be okay. It's got a little drain underneath. And so now what I do is I'll be covering it up, and I'll keep it out here in the sun for a little while, and then it's going to go indoors. So I'll just put it aside for now as completed. I'll go to my next one. See, I prepared these in advance to try to be organized, but it's always a little bit of a challenge for me. Okay, the next one is eggplant, which is, I adore. I love it. Grilled, baked, Parmesan, any way it comes. So I learned from last time to just take all the seeds out and put them in my palm instead of trying to dogs are going nuts. They hear something. So I hope I'm doing this right by putting a couple seeds in each pod. I think I am. I guess the ones that we don't use we could always put back in the bag, but then I lose the little packets, so I don't know. So last year we had 2 nice eggplant plants that gave quite a bit of fruit considering how small they were, and we had a couple of really nice meals, and I gave some to a friend even. So I'm hoping to get even more this year. Part of the reason I do so many is because some of them just aren't viable. And we also have to feed the bunnies in our backyard. So those that's the eggplant, and I'll just show you how I actually I might add a little bit more dirt. So I'm going to just add a little thin layer of dirt on top. It's pretty moist. I'm just going to add the tiniest sprinkle of water to this. We were just saying we want to get one of those misters that you can mist your plants with. And I just pat it. Just pat it gently. I know many people wear gloves. I can't stand it. I like to feel the earth. Then I'll be scrubbing my fingernails later, but I will have enjoyed it. So I'm giving it a little pat. It's not an exact science. It probably is, but I'm not following the exact science. So what I forgot to do with well, let me finish this first. And I'm going to give it the tiniest sprinkle. That's better. And it may not need to be watered again until we replant it because of this whole greenhouse thing. So I'm going to remember to put my flag in this one, because that was the whole point of making the flags. Let me see if I can find the eggplant flag. La 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 la. Well, here's the tomato one. We just called it baby tomato. So I'm going to stick it in here. We'll figure out a way to get it in there later, but eggplant. Okay, put a little hole in there for later, and that's the eggplant. So there's 2 down. I'm going to move on to flowers. Okay, so here is the semi-finished product. I've got cucumbers, and there's a little flag, watermelon seeds, and then 3 different kinds of tomatoes, eggplant, beach rose, and this last one has what? Beans, green beans. So it was a real interesting experiment for me. Some of the seeds were really super small and some of them were bigger, so it was a little bit challenging. You can already see how the soil in the cardboard egg crates is dry. It needs to be rewatered, where the ones that are in plastic are holding their moisture, and there's a chance we won't even have to water those again until they get replanted. So I'll see you inside, where I'm going to place them indoors because it's still a little too cold for them. Okay, back inside. You'll see that I have a very sunny window. This is my office, and I've placed all of the seeds in what is the sunniest window in our house. It's like 5 o'clock now, so there's not a ton of sun, but this gets morning sun, so we'll likely leave the blinds open all morning until it gets too hot for us to do that. But I think these seeds should start coming up within the next 2 weeks, and then I'll reseed them in pots, and James will put the veggies into the raised garden out back. So you can see the moisture that's being retained in the plastic ones, and they have the little egg crate bottom, so we won't get any leakage. We've never done the cardboard cartons before. They seem like a great idea, but they're really dry. I think the cardboard just absorbed all the liquid, so we'll try to add a little more liquid to that. And this thing, it had a cover. I'm just going to go get it right over here. And I couldn't peel the label off. I'm just making a big mess. So we're going to leave it open and have that be another kind of experiment. But it does then make a great tray for the liquid to fall into. So there's also the cilantro seeds I started about a week or so ago that are starting to look good. I replanted them maybe too soon. They're kind of swimming in a sea of earth right now, but anyway, that's the project. In this space, we're really blessed to have plenty of space for this project. This is my office. So here's my working space. And then I have a beautiful window. There's the dogwood we put up 5 years ago, or put in 5 years ago. And then my sewing machine's on the floor, my craft table. And I sacrificed my sitting area because this is where I usually lay on the ground and watch the moon come up at night and watch the stars come out, but that's going to be sacrificed till these seeds are ready to go. So that's it. Happy planting.